The ratings are in for last Wednesday's Thanksgiving Eve edition of AEW Dynamite, and Dynamite scores the lowest rating it has ever scored in its usual time slot. We'll let you know all the details on that. Plus, the New Day are divided as Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston turn heel on a returning Big E during their 10-year anniversary segment on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins confronts and brawls with CM Punk on Raw as well. The show featured the return of Drew McIntyre as he attacked Sami Zayn. Gunther will face Finn Balor, defending his World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event. Plus, the tournament to crown the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion kicks off. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And let's begin with the ratings for Wednesday's edition of AEW Dynamite. Of course, the ratings for the show were delayed thanks to the Thanksgiving holiday. And with full gear firmly in the rearview mirror and with an action-packed few weeks on the horizon, All Elite Wrestling returned to Chicago, Illinois for the Thanksgiving Eve edition of AEW Dynamite. The Continental Classic Tournament officially kicked off. Chris Jericho retained his Ring of Honor World Championship over Tomohiro Ishii, and the road to World's End in December 28th is finally underway. However, the ratings were not strong for this episode, as WrestleNomics was able to confirm with a Nielsen source that the November 27 episode of Dynamite averaged a total of 536,000 viewers, the lowest average since the November 6th episode, and a 16% drop from the previous week. A part of the reason for this major drop is due to the show airing live on the West Coast rather than on a 3-hour delay, but with this number being over 300,000 viewers lower than the same episode from 2023, it will be seen as a major disappointment. For the key 18 to 49 demographic number, things get worse for AEW as the show earned a 0.15 number. That is not only a 25% drop from the previous week, but it is also the lowest 18 to 49 number Dynamite has ever earned in its normal time slot. A 0.15 puts Dynamite in approximately 4th place for the evening, being beaten by the NBA on ESPN that ranked first, college basketball on ESPN2 in second, and Gutfeld on Fox News. Now, in terms of the quarter-hour ratings, these come courtesy of WrestleNomics. Shout out to them, I'm sure, to subscribe to their Patreon service. And as you can see, like most weeks, the show did have a strong lead-in with 724,000 viewers watching the first quarter. That number would drop to 588,000 by the second quarter, and just 508,000 viewers by the time Jericho and Ishii's match concluded. After a small bump at the top of the second hour, the decline continued to the point where 461,000 viewers stuck around until the end of the evening. What are your thoughts on these numbers? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Now, we've seen division, we've seen tension in the New Day for the last several weeks, and many people were wondering just what was going to happen on the 10th anniversary celebration on Monday Night Raw of the Factions formation last night, and the answer was a very heartbreaking moment inside the squared circle. The New Day's 10th anniversary celebration saw the return of Big E, but things didn't work out for the iconic trio on Monday Night Raw. As I mentioned, tensions have been high between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston for weeks, with the pair unable to get on the same page, and last week saw the pair get into a heated argument backstage. The segment kicked off with General Manager Adam Pearce introducing Woods and Kingston. They both said they wanted to thank the fans. It had been a hell of a ride, but they wanted to come out and say something, but let the fans know that it wasn't their fault. Before Kingston could go on, Big E's music hit. He said he wished he was there under different circumstances, but seeing them bicker and argue was hurting him. He talked about his personal issues with his broken neck and how they had been there for him. Big E said that until he's medically cleared to be in the ring, he would be on Raw every single week to be Woods and Kingston's manager. Shockingly, though, Woods and Kingston didn't take too kindly to Big E's offer. Woods was upset that his now former friend wanted to come back after watching them argue for weeks. Kingston jumped in and said that Big E left them and said so what if he broke his neck. The pair named off the men, including Kurt Angle, who came back after broken neck, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Edge as well. Woods and Kingston continued to berate the third New Day member and said if Big E really cared, he would have been back with them a long time ago. Woods said that Big E would never medically be cleared, so he should just get out the ring. Big E offered up a hug one final time before getting shut down. Woods and Kingston said it was just them now, and they grasped hands in the ring as Big E looked on. Now, as far as Big E's future, well, it continues to be a big year for contracts in wrestling. And Fightful Select now got clarification on Big E's contract, or at least how it stood in the summer. Now, in 2019, New Day and WWE announced that the trio had signed 5-year contracts, with Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E signed until the end of 2024. Now, Fightful say they've not learned about the status of Woods or Kofi and any possible injury time or re-signings or extensions, but they did learn a little bit more about Big E as speculation runs rampant about his status, his in-ring status, if he's been cleared or not, anything like that. Now, those that Fightful spoke to within WWE said they don't believe that injury time was added to Big E's deal as of this summer. He's been sidelined, of course, since early 2022 due to a broken neck. However, Fightful have not learned if he'd re-signed or got on a new deal since then. However, it would make sense for WWE not to add injury time to his deal, as the contract they signed with him was under the expectation that he'd be an in-ring talent. Now, of course, he has been appearing on digital content, making appearances and panels, which counts towards his deal. There's always a chance things have changed since then, but as of the summer, that was the word. Of course, we don't really have any more details on if he's cleared, if there's a chance that he could be cleared, what this is building to, or anything like that. If we get any more information, of course, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. Now, the seeds continue to be planted between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. CM Punk kicked off Raw to give the lay of the land after his team up with Roman Reigns and the OG Bloodline at Survivor Series War Games. Punk and Reigns shallowly buried the hatchet last weekend, with the former coming in at the last minute as a 5th member of the latter's team, under the promise that Punk will be owed a future favour by the wise man Paul Heyman should they win. Now, on Monday, Punk alluded to a favour or two he could call upon on the road to WrestleMania after admitting he had thus far only found dead ends. He continued to say he left his personal grudges aside after his Hell in a Cell blow-off with Drew McIntyre in October, and floated both the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber as potential forks in the road. However, Punk's attempt at giving the lay of the land and leaving the past behind him was somewhat halted by an emerging Seth freaking Rollins, explaining that he wished he dealt with Punk when he originally returned at Survivor Series last year. He explained that seeing him standing victorious alongside Reigns had convinced him to finally do something. Punk argued that Rollins had not been listening and said that he no longer has anything, namely the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, that compels him to face him. The spurning of Rollins prompted a brawl between them, which was then broken up by Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and WWE officials, in turn prompting Rollins to berate Zayn and Uso for getting between them. Zayn and Rollins then had a back and forth about their history with Reigns, and the former's return to his side, with the former finally challenging the latter to a match later on in the show. Now, this then led eventually later on in the show to the return of Punk's former rival, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is back on Monday Night Raw after taking a few months off television following his brutal match against CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood that ended, of course, in defeat for the Scottish psychopath. McIntyre appeared at the very end of Raw and delivered a Claymore kick to Sami Zayn, who had just been defeated by former World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins in the main event. The match was made at the beginning of the night, of course, when Rollins appeared to challenge Punk, but also ran down the original bloodline, including Jey Uso and Zayn coming to his defense. Now, later on in the evening, Uso was found beaten up backstage, with the culprit currently unknown. Toward the end of their match, Zayn began berating Rollins with a chair in his hand, thinking he was the one to have taken out Uso. Rollins said it wasn't him and asked if Zayn had questioned Punk. Rollins took advantage of Zayn off the distraction as he was thinking and let go of the chair and rolled him up for the victory. Rollins headed up the ramp and McIntyre, dressed in a hoodie, took out Zayn from behind. The show ended with McIntyre standing tall over the honorary Uso, with some speculating that it was indeed McIntyre who possibly took out the former Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso. Now, more matches have been announced for Saturday night's main event, one including the World Heavyweight Championship. The foundation was laid for Gunther's next World Heavyweight Championship opponent at Saturday night's main event, and a possible babyface turn during Monday Night Raw last night. Gunther defended his title last weekend against Damian Priest during Survivor Series, though the result was marred by controversy through Finn Balor's interference. On Monday, Balor approached Gunther backstage demanding appreciation for helping him, but the ring general admitted that he needed a clean win to right his path after losing to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel and was therefore unappreciative. Gunther rebuffed Balor's demand for a title shot but wanted to put Dominic Mysterio in his place and said he would arrange a match between them. The bout was characterized by the champion looking to assert its dominance, with Mysterio finding short flurries and at one point pushing close to victory. Gunther put a sleeper hold on Dirty Dom and the pair were drawn into the corner, simultaneously sandwiching the referee between them and the ropes and allowing for Mysterio to land a low blow. He followed up with a 619 to the gut before leveling Gunther to the middle ropes for the 619, followed by a frog splash, but only getting a near fall. Swiftly following that, Gunther fought his way back to the advantage, delivering a powerbomb for the pinfall, but he was then assaulted by Finn Balor, landing multiple coup de grace to the fallen champion before looking at his stablemate to say, "That's how you do it." He later demanded that Adam Pearce greenlight the title match, and Pearce said that following the beatdown, Gunther is equally interested in the bout, so he made it official for Saturday night's main event. Gunther getting a storyline with Balor and the Judgment Day appears to solidify what had seemed apparent after Survivor Series, where his respect for Priest and disdain for Balor's interference pointed in the direction of a possible babyface turn for the World Heavyweight Champion. And finally, the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament is underway. Last Monday, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce announced a brand new Women's Intercontinental Championship, though admittedly he did so before the cameras started rolling. This week, the tournament to crown the new champion began, first with the official release of the bracket prior to airtime. Then on the broadcast, where Damage Control's Dakota Kai became the first woman to advance after defeating former Women's Tag Team Champion Katana Chance, and also New Fusion Collective member Shayna Baszler in a triple threat match. All three women looked like they had a shot to advance to the next round, especially when Baszler locked Kai in the Kirifuda clutch. Kai was moments from tapping out when she managed to escape, just as Chance was coming down with a 450 splash, which hit Baszler and caused her to roll out the ring. Kai then took advantage, hitting Chance with a GTK, go to kick, for the victory. The victory potentially sets up Kai to take on Raquel Rodriguez in the semifinals, should Rodriguez advance herself. Rodriguez and her partner Liv Morgan defeated Kai's Damage Control partners in the opening match, and Morgan will defend her Women's World Championship against Io Sky at Saturday night's main event later this month. Meanwhile, the tournament continues next week with the match that will see Zelina Vega take on Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile. But there you go, guys. The latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey, guys. Thank you for watching, listening, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.